and the fact that quite frequently dreams express material which can be difficult to incorporate into consciousness. The interpretation of dreams therefore must be seen as a skill acquired through practice
Bozo,
and
you happy?
with an understanding of some of the most important archetypes which we will spend the remainder of the video looking at. Before looking at some of the archetypes which suffer from underdevelopment and therefore may manifest themselves in dreams, it is important to first look at the persona. The word persona was used in Roman times to signify a mask worn by an actor. In an analogous manner, in Jungian psychology, the persona represents the social mask that each of us wear in our interaction with others in society. Or to put it differently, it represents the personality that we try to portray to others. While the persona plays an important role in promoting social interaction and communal life, problems arise when people over-identify with their persona. As Jung writes, fundamentally, the persona is nothing real. It is a compromise between the individual and society as to what a man should appear to be. He takes a name, earns a title, represents an office. He is this or that. In a certain sense, all this is real, yet in relation to the essential individuality of the person concerned, it is only a secondary reality, a product of compromise, in making which others often have a greater share than he. The persona is a semblance, a two-dimensional reality. Most people suffer from inflation of the persona, meaning that they over-identify with their social mask to the detriment of other important areas of the psyche. In the course of the individuation process, one must come to the realization that the persona is not the totality of their being, but rather only a small component of a much larger personality. Such a realization is achieved by diving into the unconscious and mining from it the rich and meaningful contents manifested by the archetypes. The first stage in the exploration of the unconscious, according to Jung, is an encounter with one's shadow archetype. Over the course of one's life, certain personality traits elicit negative feedback and even punishment from others. This negative feedback creates anxiety, resulting in these traits being pushed away from awareness into the unconscious, where they form the shadow, the dark side of one's personality. To become aware of and integrate the shadow into consciousness is often a difficult and sometimes heroic endeavor. But failure to do so can create chaos in one's life. In the darkness of the unconscious, the shadow is far from impotent, but instead influences emotions, thoughts, and behaviors in a manner which is beyond conscious control. Often the shadow finds expression through projections, whereby instead of seeing the disagreeable elements of the shadow as residing within oneself, one projects these traits onto others. Bringing elements of the shadow into the light of consciousness is crucial if one is to correct some of the